Hi everyone, Denise Hahn here for Graphic 45, and I wanted to make myself a cute little pair of paper ballet slippers for Christmas to hang on my doorknob. And so I looked back in the Graphic 45 archives and I found that Alberto already had a PDF pattern for a little pair of ballet slippers. So I printed that up, and on Graphic 45's website you can just, search Graphic 45 ballet slippers and this will come up. Anyway, so I'm going to show you how to construct these slippers really quick, and the first thing I like to do is just rough cut out my template. And then choose where I want my foot to go. Now you would think logically, because I like this lady right here, to go like this, but no, don't do it that way. Do it this way, because that's the way your slipper's going to hang when you hang it around your doorknob. Can you tell I made that mistake once before? So another thing you want to make sure, if you're putting the face of somebody, kind of go like this to make sure you have it high enough. A couple of these I did and they were way too low. So now if you're not super confident with your cutting around paper skills without attaching, you can cut out this template and then just go around with a pencil and trace it. Always use a pencil, so if you mess up you can go back in. But I like to live dangerously, so I'm just gonna, what I call, rough cut this side of the paper, and then I'm gonna just hold it. Okay, so now I have my pieces cut out, and this is just the flip side of the same sheet of paper, so you could do this using one sheet of paper. And the first thing we're going to do is construct the foot part, and what I have found is that just a simple piece of cardstock is not strong enough, so I like to attach it to a piece of chipboard. And rather than, get the template, trace this out, line it back up, what I like to do is just go ahead and grab my Xyron Create a Sticker and run my little ballet slipper through it. And then just, attach it anywhere onto the piece of chipboard. And then I'm going to go back with my scissors and go ahead and cut this out. And then it's going to be, perfect. I don't have to worry about the edges being correct. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now I have my back covered in chipboard, or my sole covered in chipboard. And the first thing we're going to do is, I like to give this a little curve in half just to kind of help me along. But we're going to go ahead and just join the back of the slipper together. And my cutting's not perfect, but that's okay. I can fix that. It's not a big deal. You just want to use a tiny line of glue, and you don't want to glue it in that far, just a tiny bit, just enough to join it. Makes it a lot easier. All right, and then I'm just going to go ahead and trim up this tiny little edge right here. All right. Okay, so now we can see our shoe is coming together, or our slipper rather. Okay, so now is kind of where it can get a little tricky. So, if you don't want to mess up your Graphic 45 paper experimenting, you might want to first try this just using some cardstock. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first we're going to go ahead and do what I call cut some little tabs. So as you can see right here, I'm about maybe a 1/4 inch away from the tip toe, and I'm just going to cut a little tab like that. Then I'm going to just put a little bead of hot glue, real tiny, and then I'm going to fold in the tab, and I'm just going to hold it like that. Wait till it hardens up. All right, now I'm going to kind of go do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to go in and make myself a little tab. I'm going to lay a tiny bit of hot glue down, and I'm going to fold that tab in and hold it. All right, are you with me so far? Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite sides. And here's where you want to make sure that these are cooled down on either end, because we're going to be applying a little pressure to these sides. So we already know about the depth of tab we need, so I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, the placement isn't that important where we're going to put these. And before I glue this down, I kind of want to see where I'm at. I think it's easier to cheat in the front than it is the back. So I'm going to make sure the back right there is nice and flush. And I think that's where I want to put this one. So again, go ahead and drop it with a little hot glue. Okay. And where's my other tab? Where did I make it? Up here? Okay. Again, I want to make sure the back is nice and even, not like that. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the next tab. And just let that cool for a second. So now we can really see our shoe coming together. Or our slipper, rather. So now with that said, I kind of just start folding around the edges like this, not being too, you know, particular. You don't have to be too particular. And just kind of getting an idea of where it's kind of going to lay. And then on the back. And on the back, sometimes I'm going to be cutting some more tabs, but sometimes I can get away with no tabs. Sometimes it just folds in nicely. So on the back, I'm going to go ahead and just cut me a few little round the corner tabs. Oops. And I'm going to open it back up and go ahead and drop a bead of hot glue. If you're fast, you can do this just like this. If you're not fast, do one side at a time. And then just start bending it over. I do have hands of steel, so I'm not really fazed by hot glue. If you are, you can actually, even wearing some plastic gloves helps. And this glue is still kind of warm, but not hot all the way. I can just go ahead and lay it over on the other side and then press down with my finger. And it won't stick too hard. And I can already see I missed a little spot right there, so I'm just going to hit it again with a little glue. Alright, good to go. Alright, so yeah, you guessed it, we're going to do the same thing. Now I can see that that usually on this outsole is where it's kind of a little off when you're making these. It just is. So that's what I do last. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some more little slats, kind of like you do when you're sewing and going around a curve. And do the same thing I just did. Ooh, that was a big thing of glue right there. And bring it over. And just, you know, this is a high temp gun, so it does give you a tiny bit of play. Like the glue will stay warmer longer. Sorry, I have a bad shadow on my camera today. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so now we got that side down. So now we're going to go ahead and do the other side. Same thing, cut some slats. Make sure you don't go all the way in, or else you will see the cut slat on the other side. So You want to be like 1/8 of an inch in so you know you're not hitting it. Alright, we're going to do the same thing again. Nice healthy amount of glue. Oops, I missed a couple spots. And just start folding it over. And I have kind of a big, sometimes this happens, not usually, gap right there, and I'll just make myself another cut. Make sure it goes around. All right, put it down. You can kind of run your finger in there if you want. All right, and voila, we have our slipper. Now, if you like, you can go ahead and making sure you're cutting it the right way. Cut inside the line a little and put a backing on it if you like. That's up to you. Another thing I like to do is I have a little stick here, and you can see it has a couple little rough corners there from where the tabs are, but you can just take a pencil or like a stick or your bone folder and just kind of cheat those in like that. You'll be a lot happier. All right, and for decorating, I punched 2 holes, a hole here and a hole here, and laced it up, and then I added a little more adhesive on the side so that it would hang straight. You could put some trim around the edge. You can stuff it and put little trinkets in it like I did, or you could just, you know, keep it simple. Put just a couple, you know, flowers or something, I don't know, you know. So decorate how you like. And so I want to thank Alberto for offering up this template for all of us. And I hope you'll make yourself some ballerina Christmas slippers for your holiday decor this season. And thanks for joining me with Graphic 45.